Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Dean.
And my name is Tyler.
And it's time again for Champion Review.
Yes.
Probably going to be a shorter episode. We got Sona and Miss Fortune. Not a lot has changed there, but that's okay. We don't, sometimes we go like an hour 20. So we're gonna bring you guys down. Nice, smooth, easy Friday. Listen, so welcome. Before we do that, really quick, wanted to actually shout out our. We made a TikTok finally, so all you young whippersnappers can head over to the According to Low Elo podcast. Just go ahead and search According to Low Elo pod. It is also in our link tree. So whoever you're listening right now, click the link tree, check out the TikTok, and of course check out all the other links in there, especially YouTube, Discord, everything. So go ahead and follow us there. And we're gonna start doing more shorts. Some of you guys have maybe seen the shorts on YouTube. I think that'd be kind of cool just to give previews to episodes that are coming out and just a little more ways to engage with you guys. So
right,
would appreciate it if you joined us and followed us on those platforms.
Absolutely.
And also wanted to, over here on the Discord, Dylan suggested, and this is something we had wanted to do that we've tossed back and forth. We wanted to interview people. So he suggested interviewing people that are higher elo or people that are like one tricks and just talking to them about their play styles, how they in particular like to climb. I think it'd be cool. It'd be great to hear other people's like perspectives on certain champions, and if you feel like you would be interested in getting interviewed by us or just coming on. We're always saying that anyways, right?
Right. We haven't said it in a while, but yeah, if anybody ever wants to come on and do a segment with us or do an interview or whatever, like we're super happy to have you on. We're always down to have guest hosts or anything like that. So if you ever feel like you want to volunteer, absolutely send myself or send Dean a message. We're more than happy to incorporate you some way.
Yeah, so easiest way would just come into the Discord or message us somewhere, and we'll get back to you and we'll figure it out. So that's a cool suggestion. So thank you, Dylan.
Yes.
But you know what time it is, so let's get into this. Like we said, Sona and Miss Fortune. There's not gonna be too much. But let's see. Why don't you tell us what Chat GPT said about Sona?
All right. So Sona first on the docket here. Chat GPT says, Sona is a range support champion in League of Legends who excels at sustaining and protecting her allies in fights. Her playstyle revolves around using her abilities to heal, shield, and buff her team while also disrupting her opponents. Okay, first little bit's good. Sona's Q ability, Hymn of Valor, allows her to deal damage to enemy champions while also empowering her next basic attack and the attacks of nearby allies. Her W ability, Aria of Perseverance, lets her heal herself and allies while also granting them a shield. Her E ability, Song of Celerity, increases the movement speed of Sona and her allies. Sona's ultimate ability, Crescendo, is a powerful crowd control spell that stuns all enemies in a cone in front of her, making it an excellent tool for setting up teamfights or making a quick escape. Okay, I don't know 100% about that last part, but okay. Overall, Sona is a champion that requires good positioning and awareness, as she is relatively squishy and relies heavily on her abilities to keep herself and her allies alive. She is most effective when played in a support role, working alongside her team to control the battlefield and maximize their damage output.
I think it's pretty good.
That's
overall.
like the most accurate one. I think they
so far.
it I don't know if it knew how to work in her passive, and I feel like that's the only thing that kind of sucks is it did kind of forget that part. But for the most part, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. So yeah, let's check it out. So yeah, Sona, again, hasn't had any major reworks. The only recent thing that they've had is they've changed their passive. They just kind of slapped that 120. What are they even fucking called?
I don't know. I called it's just a ability haste, but they are called
Accelerando.
Yeah, Accelerando.
Cool.
All right. They had to think of a good musical term to add to that.
So yeah, let's just go through it and we'll talk about it and we'll see what we got. So her passive, Power Chord. Innate Accelerando Sona generates a stack of Accelerando each time she hits an enemy champion with Hymn of Valor, and each time she mitigates sufficient damage or heals damage allies with Aria of Perseverance, stacking up to 120 times. At maximum stacks, she reduces the current cooldown of Crescendo by 1.5 seconds each time. So every time you hit a champion with a Q or heal your allies with W, it lowers that cooldown. And then Accelerando for each stack. Sona gains half a basic ability haste up to 60 at maximum stacks.
Okay.
In Innate Melody, whenever Sona casts a basic ability, her other abilities incur a half-second global cooldown, and she generates a unique aura for 3 seconds that empowers herself and nearby allied champions. Innate Power Chord. Sona's basic abilities generate a stack of power chords stacking up to 3 times. At 3 stacks, her next basic attack is empowered to consume them all to have an uncancelable windup, deal 20 to 240 based on level plus 20% AP, bonus magic damage, and apply an additional effect based on the last basic ability she casted. So, Hymn of Valor, if this is the last stack. Staccato, deals 28 to 336 based on level plus 28% AP modified magic damage.
Okay.
Aria of Perseverance, Diminuendo, whatever, reduces the target size by 8% and damage dealt by 25% plus 4% per 100 AP. For 3 seconds. I did not know it lowered their size.
I didn't know that either.
I knew it was like a mini exhaust.
Right.
But interesting. And then Song of Celerity. Tempo slows the target by 50% plus 4% per 100 AP for 2 seconds, capped at a maximum of 99% slow. Gaining.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish it.
I don't know how you're ever going to build enough to get 99% slow, because if you're only getting 4% per 100 AP and you're at 50, you would have to have 5,000 AP to be close to that point,
5,000? Really? Wouldn't it be... So let's see. If he had 1,000 AP, yeah, I guess you would need a lot.
You would need a fuck ton, dude. I think...
So 1,010. Well, so if you had 1,000,
I might
that'd
be
be
mathing
10.
that wrong.
So that's 40%, right? If you had 1,000, that'd be 4 per 100.
That's 90.
So
okay,
40.
yeah. So even getting 1,000 AP is damn near impossible on any
like,
champion that's not scaling it automatically like Vagar.
You'd need like 15. You'd have to go like
you have to
80
build all
minutes
Rabadons.
with fucking Gathering Storm.
Yeah, it's like that's just not gonna fucking happen.
I feel like if I understand why they can't make it 100% slow, because that'd just be a fucking stun. But like, I feel like if you got that much AP, you should be able to just stun.
You're one-shotting people anyways.
Right.
I mean, think about that much AP with a 28% AP ratio for just the Hymn of Valor. Like you're one-shotting fools.
Yeah, right. So one thing I will say, and even before they included the Accelerando stacks, this was a very long passive for a champion that came out in 2010.
Right.
I feel like this might be the longest.
I think so, because it's pretty much the same. It hasn't really ever changed.
Right. And I mean, her whole kit is, I'd say it's pretty unique.
It
just because you want to, if I ever play Sona, aka when I'm playing an ARAM, I don't really like strategize how I'm gonna work her passive in. I'm like, okay, Q W or Q E W. Okay, my W is the empowered one next, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm not like, because obviously the Q is like an enhanced auto attack, right? So if you have like Lichbane, that thing's gonna hit like a truck,
right?
And then the damage reduction, and then the slow. I don't really process it like that. So I guess if you're a good Sona player, you could probably be able to like. I guess there's comparisons to Seraphine where they all have like 3 stacked passives, and then your third does something similar. But
there's a lot of comparisons to Seraphine just based on the kit in general. I mean, the Q does extra damage when empowered. Seraphine's empowered Q does extra damage. The W has a heal, and this one has damage reduction. Hers has an AoE heal for everybody. plus the shield, and then the empowered E on this one deals with movement speed and slowing, and Seraphine's stuns, and even the fucking ulti is a weird, very weird champion to make Seraphine. But this is about Sona, not Seraphine, so I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. But I will say, when I play Sona, and I don't really play her support, she's definitely an entry level champion. She has a very easy skill cap. But I think that she can do more if you really know how to work with that power chord. When I play Sona, depending on what I'm facing in lane, typically when you're in lane, you're trying to use that Q pop.
Mm-hmm.
The Song of Celerity slow is a 2-second slow by 50%. It's not crazy strong, but the Q pop, especially early, does a lot of fucking damage, and you kind of get to bully people out of the lane. And then obviously as the game goes on, you more transition into being an E and W user. You're not really a damage dealer, so it does have, each one has their merits, and I think each one is usable in any situation, and a good player can make use of them and will know when one is better than the other. So
Also feel like Sona, yeah, like Sona does like a surprisingly high amount of damage.
right.
I think I would consider her like a hyper carry, especially if you're going like, sure, you can build like Moonstone. Actually, as far as pro play goes, I feel like everyone is just building whatchamacallit, what's the movement speed one?
Yeah, sure really is.
Everyone is building that.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, Moonstone is like a thing of the past. But how much does Shirelia's give AP wise?
I think it's similar to Moonstone.
Like 40 or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's a whole lot.
It's not a lot, but
It gives you health, I think, though, is the... No, Moonstone gives you health, too.
It doesn't give any AP.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting.
I think it gives cooldown reduction. That's probably the other reason.
10, 300 health, 100 base health regen, and 100 base mana regen.
There you go.
and
That's
then
worth it.
plus 10% heal and shield. Yeah, I mean, how much does Ardent give? Ardent gives 60. I mean, you could probably, if you're going full support, you might be able to tip 200 AP.
Right.
But yeah, if you go full AP, I mean, remember, when like in LCS and pro play when Senna no, was it Sona Tom Kench?
Yeah, Sona TK.
Senna, yeah.
Well, it was also
like,
Senna Tom Kench too. Oh no, it was Sona Tarek. That's what it was. Sona Tarek.
Yeah, the double heal. There you go. It was the double heal.
Yeah.
Bot lane.
Yeah, it's fucking
so it's
disgusting.
Like, it's gross.
All right, let's move down to the W, Aria of Perseverance. Active, Sona heals herself and sends out a tone to heal the most wounded allied champion nearby.
Q? We gotta do the Q.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. We did
okay.
passive first.
Like...
Sorry, Q. Let me back it up here. Hymn of Valor. Active, Sona sends out bolts of sound to the 2 nearest visible enemies, prioritizing champions. Each bolt deals magic damage and grants sight of the area around the target for 1 second. Sona gains a stack of Accelerando for each bolt that hits an enemy champion. The Melody bonus. Sona and tagged allied champions deal bonus magic damage on their next basic attack within 5 seconds. So she gets the little aura. That's like her big thing, is every time she casts an ability, she gets a circle around her. And just by running near a champion or a champion being near you in that circle, they get empowered things. On this one, they get bonus magic damage, which does 10 to 30 with a 20% AP ratio. And that's Sona's basic attack, and any champion that grabs that aura,
yeah.
for 5 seconds. And I think you can reset it too. I think you can use it and then get it again and use it again. The magic damage on the ability itself is 50 to 170, which is rather low, but you get a 40% AP ratio. And like I said earlier, for a champion that doesn't scale super hard in damage, in my opinion, I think her skills kind of round out to different ways. This is still a really, really, really good early level ability, all the way up to about level 11, when I think she has a lot of power.
I think just the... So let's see. So when it's empowered, it does a 28
to 336 based on level. Yeah, that's
so
levels 1
pretty
through 18.
Good. So that's very high. I think that's high. And then plus the auto, like, it's so weird that she's kind of like based around auto. Even though she's a spellcaster, you gotta like land that auto attack to
Yeah.
get. And I mean, again, if you have a Lich Bane,
Yep.
that auto attack 20 to 240 base on level plus 20% AP plus the Lich Bane proc, that thing fucking hits.
Well, for sure, for sure. She
It's
definitely
hard.
scales well with spell sword items. So or
Yeah, let's see.
spell blade, I guess they call it. It used to be spell sword. I think it's spell blade now.
Is there any details? The site is granted off the target. Okay, the empowered attack will trigger but not consumed against wards. Okay.
Yeah, and same thing with towers
Doesn't
as
really
well.
matter.
When you use that empowered attack, it doesn't trigger against towers.
Okay. All right, moving on to Aurea of Perseverance. Active Sona heals herself and sends out a tone to heal the most wounded ally champion nearby. Had no idea it worked like that.
Yes.
Melody bonus. Sona and tagged allied champions are granted a shield for 1.5 seconds.
Yep.
And then Sona gains a stack of Accelerendo whenever she heals a wounded ally or shields a minimum amount of damage for an ally with Aurea of Perseverance. So the heal is 30 to 90 plus 15% AP. Shield strength is 25 to 105 with 25% AP. And then the minimum damage that needs to be mitigated to get the stack is 25 to 105.
That's
Now,
good.
do we I guess it depends, but are you maxing W first?
Usually I think I max Q because it's such a good early ability, and then you max W. The heal is kind of small even at max rank, so I don't think maxing W first does enough for you. Especially because you're only getting a 15% AP ratio, and even the shield you have to be right next to the other person to get the shield popping off. Where also the Q helps you get your stacks faster too. So I think maxing the Q, even if I think all of her skills have static cooldowns. Yeah, they don't skill cooldown, so you're not getting any cooldown bonus by maxing W first or anything like that. So I think the Q max is just a little bit better for early game, then the W becomes a better skill late as you start team fighting and you give multiple people the shield. One of the things that I didn't note that I forgot and I wanted to mention is like Sona's abilities, you don't target them except for her ulti. Like
Yeah.
they do what they do. And when I first played Sona, I could not understand. I'm like, I don't understand why I don't get to why is my spell going this way? Why don't I get to use it on this person? I didn't realize like you don't get to target or cast any of them. They're all auto targeted, which is what makes her a really simple, basic, easy champion for beginners to learn. But I don't think there's anything. I know that it says if no one is injured, Aria of Perseverance will target the closest allied champion. And it will follow an ally in stealth, but will not reveal them. So that is important to note as well.
That's really nice.
Because when you see it, it looks like it's revealing them. So,
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's it for the W. Let's see anything else.
Go ahead.
All right, move down to the E Song of Celerity, and this is probably the often most underused ability that she has. Active, Sona gains 20% plus 2% per 100 AP, bonus movement speed for 7 seconds. If she takes damage during this time, the duration ends prematurely once, or if 3 seconds have... That doesn't even make sense. The duration ends prematurely once, or if 3 seconds have elapsed. Okay. I think that once isn't supposed to be there. I think it's just supposed to say the duration ends prematurely, or it ends if 3 seconds have elapsed. That's a really fucking weird sentence. Okay. The melody bonus. Tagged allied champions gain bonus movement speed for 3 seconds. They gain 10 to 14% plus 2% per 100 AP. So they won't run as fast as Sona. Well, they won't get as much bonus, but
does that stack on top of the base?
Well, the base only applies to Sona.
Oh, right. Okay. Got it.
So Sona gets 20% plus 2% per 100 AP, and then everyone else gets 10 to 14. The thing to note on this ability is the slow. So you can use it to get a slow. That's her only other CC ability. Here it tells you right here. To achieve a 99% slow with the empowered attack via power chord, it require at least 1475 AP. I don't even know. Like you would, I think you have to have 6 or death caps.
And Gathering Storm or something.
Yeah,
'Cause...
yeah. So it ain't happening. But all right, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that.
So okay, wait, go back. So the maybe it's just because the way it's written. I'm just confused because like, so the active says Sona gains, and that does not distribute. So okay, so she gets more movement speed than her allies.
But I think she moves slower than everybody else. I think her base movement speed is pretty fucking slow. Yeah, her base
What
movement speed is 325, and then she's probably building cooldown boots, which don't give a whole lot of move speed either. So,
is that? Well, how long? How much are Ionians? Like 60? No, like 40.
uh, Ionian boots.
Because
Of
she's, let's see, so
lucidity.
she's getting
They gave you
uh
45 move speed.
so 45, and she's, so it's 370, and then
That's pretty slow.
20% of that, so 10 would be like another 60. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But I guess it lasts longer too, so it's 7 seconds instead of 3 seconds though.
Right, right. Everybody else gets theirs for lower.
Okay.
So it evens out where it makes sense.
And then finally, Crescendo. Sona strikes an irresistible chord in the target direction that deals magic damage to enemies hit and stuns them for 1.5 seconds, and then damages 150 to 350 with a 50% AP ratio. Let's see. The ability will cast from wherever the cast. Okay. Best part about this is it forces the targets to dance.
It's so
And
good. It's so good.
and then of course, like we said, with the passive, whenever you use it, and then when you fully stack to 120 stacks, using your Q or W will lower the cooldown 1.5 seconds each time. So usually it's up pretty quickly as long as you're. It's really good in ARAM. And
Right.
then
It's
the
definitely a
old
game breaking ulti for sure.
game breaking.
Like you could totally get into the team fight, and if she's able to get the angle and get 3 people in that ulti, you should win that team fight.
Yeah. I feel like
It's
it's
pretty powerful.
1.5 seconds. I guess is long. It feels
It's not as long as a
the
Morgana Q for sure, but the
no.
fact that it's an AoE stun is pretty gross. And
Um,
it's got a, I mean, yeah, 280 width. It's a pretty wide ability. I mean, you have a lot of room to hit people with.
it's very quick too.
It's a very quick missile speed.
The other thing I want to note before they added that passive in, um, her ulti used to have a passive where as you ranked it up, her abilities got ability haste. That's what it used to
Yes.
be.
Yeah, and before that, when she was out a long time ago, her ulti had a passive that ranking it up actually gave extra bonuses to her other basic abilities.
Why isn't that on here?
Scroll all the way down to the patch history.
Hmm.
All the way down to the bottom. It just says new passive, and this was patch 413. So like kind of right when we started. It said Crescendo ranking up increases the strength of Sona's auras and Song of Celerity's self bonus movement speed, and you would get some extra bonuses there. One thing I do want to note in Song of Celerity, I actually understand what the sentence means now. I had to reread it a couple times to get it. So it reads, if she takes damage during this time, the duration ends prematurely. It's saying once or if 3 seconds have elapsed. So if 3 seconds haven't elapsed, it doesn't end prematurely. So it'll end at 3 seconds if you take damage at like right when you cast it, you take damage, you lose your movement speed at 3 seconds. Or if you're past 3 seconds of it having been cast, if you take damage, you lose your move speed. So I just wanted to drop that correction because I was fucking confused a minute ago.
All right, best Sona skin.
I feel like the obvious answer is DJ,
Yeah.
but like that's kind of an unfair choice, just because realistically that should be her fucking base skin. But it's kind of an unfair choice because it's the ultimate skin, and like why wouldn't you use it? You know. So if I had to pick like a backup one, man, Arcade
I
was really good. I used to really like that. It's like the poor man's DJ Sona.
I really like the OG Pentakill.
The OG Pentakill's good. I like that one better than Pentakill 2. Or Pentakill Lost Chapter, excuse me. I do like Odyssey. I think she looks really cool as the Odyssey one, too. So, I still think best skin's probably DJ Sona.
Yeah, DJ Sona's for
Mu-
sure.
Muse is cool. It just reminds me of like a Greek goddess. So that's kind of cool, but like, I mean, it's whatever.
Cool.
All right.
That is it for Sona.
So we got Miss Fortune coming up next, and I think Chat GPT has something in store for us.
Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Miss Fortune is a marksman champion in League of Legends who excels at dealing sustained physical damage to enemy champions from a safe distance. Her playstyle is often described as a combination of both a lane bully and teamfight carry, as she is able to dominate her opponents in the early stages of the game and scale well into the late game. Okay, I can agree with that.
Okay.
In the laning phase, Miss Fortune relies heavily on her strong poke and trading potential. She can use her Q ability Double Up to hit an enemy champion, and then bounce her shot to hit a second target behind them, dealing significant damage to both. Her W ability, Strut, gives her increased movement speed, allowing her to dodge skill shots and chase down opponents who try to escape. In team fights, Miss Fortune ultimate ability Bullet Time is her main source of damage. She channels for a few seconds and fires a barrage of bullets in a cone in front of her, dealing massive damage to all enemies caught in the area. She can also use her E ability and make it rain to slow enemies and zone them away from her team's backline. Overall, Miss Fortune's playstyle revolves around using her range and mobility to poke down enemies, and then following up with her ultimate to deal massive damage in teamfights. She's a strong pick in both solo queue and competitive play, and her versatility makes her a valuable addition to any team composition. All right, pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
good.
not bad at all. Again, there's another
bad.
champion that hasn't had too many changes, more than Sona, and I think the less changes that there are, the more accurate Chat GPT is going to be.
It's probably fair.
Because it's going to get confused with 8 abilities, or even possibly 10 if you include the passive, versus just 5. So, but okay.
So let's check it out. So we'll go back to her previous version of Strut, which I think is her
Yeah.
W now, right? No?
It is her W now, yes.
Cool. Okay, so her previous passive used to be called Strut. And it reads, Miss Fortune gains 25% bonus movement speed if she has not taken damage in the last 5 seconds, excluding damage over time, increasing by each second up to a maximum of 70% or 70 bonus movement speed. So she quick. And then her current passive.
She runs pretty quick in those heals too, I gotta say.
Yeah, seriously. Current passive is Love Tap. Miss Fortune's basic attacks are empowered to apply a mark that expires upon attacking a new enemy. If the enemy was unmarked, this also deals 50 to 100% based on level 80 bonus physical damage, halved to 25 to 50% based on level 80 against minions. So, yeah, if you're playing Miss Fortune, you always want to be like selecting a new target whenever you're trying to, if it's possible at least, like when you're, especially if you're like taking a turret and they have a minion wave under the turret, you just want to keep swapping. Yeah, exactly. So you're getting the maximum amount of damage. Obviously, it's gonna be a little different when if there's no minions around or anything, and you just have to keep hitting the same target.
Right.
But
it's a weird mechanic, in my opinion, for an ADC to have, because typically an ADC you kind of want to focus on one thing, right? To deal massive damage, and so they said with Miss Fortune, let's force her to focus on multiple things at once, right, or multiple enemies at once to deal the most damage. And it gets hard to manage when, especially later in the game, when A, she's squishy and prone to being blown the fuck up, and B, trying to navigate a team fight and hit what's in front of her so she doesn't die to try to scare someone off or whatever. It definitely gets difficult to manage, but if you can do it, I mean, she's even stronger than she already is, base-wise.
alrighty, will you move on to her queue?
All right, the Q I don't think has really changed too much. Her original Q, called Double Up. Active, Miss Fortune fires a shot at the target enemy, which then bounces to hit another unit behind it, dealing physical damage to the primary target and increased physical damage to the secondary one. Also applies on hit effects to both. Double Up's second shot prioritizes units directly behind the primary target, especially enemy champions affected by impure shots, her old W. If the primary target is killed on the second hit, it critically strikes for 150% base critical strike damage. So your primary target physical damage was 20 to 80 plus 85% AD and 35% AP, meaning your secondary target physical damage was 40 to 160 with 100% AD and a 50% AP ratio. So that's kind of her bread and butter skill there. You clear a wave or try to poke somebody through a minion by pelting a minion and letting it bounce and deal more damage to the secondary target. Her current Q is still called Double Up and is still basically the same damn skill with the same damn damage ratios. It's slightly different though. So active, Miss Fortune fires a shot at the enemy that deals physical damage, which then bounces to hit another enemy behind them. This applies on attack effects to the first enemy hit and on hit effects to both enemies hit. Double Up's bounce is affected by critical strike modifiers. If Double Up kills the primary target, the bounce will crit. The bounce prioritizes units directly behind the primary target. A target does not have to be visible to be hit by the bounce. I did not know that.
This I know you. I've played so many times. This ability, early game too. This ability fucking hits hard.
If like a truck, if you kill a minion.
Yeah, exactly. That bounce is devastating. It fucking hurts.
It's not as bad if you don't kill a minion, but really, if you kill a minion, it's strong. It's strong. And this because the skill is basically the same. You think back in the day, when you had a lot of people would run like that 1% crit chance.
If you got that 1% crit.
Yeah. And if it actually hit without killing a minion, like, oh, God. So that was always a fun one. It currently does 20 to 120 physical damage base with 100% AD ratio and a 35% AP ratio. So it does do damage.
All right.
Oh, the other thing to note too is it does have an angle. It's kind of weird. So there's sometimes you'd be like, I'm not behind that thing. You're like, I'm over here, but it has like a sweeping angle. So it says here the bounce follows a priority order on targets behind in a certain angle. So at 500 units in 20 degrees. So that's like almost directly behind, like a slight, maybe it's called a ricochet is really what the second hit is called. It's called the ricochet. So 20 degrees is a slight ricochet, right? It's just like a redirection. And then at 500 units at 40 degrees, if there's nothing in that 20 degree area. So 40 degrees is a lot more of a diagonal angle. And then it's 500 units at 110 degree angle. So that's a much wider angle. That's, again, if there's nothing in the 20 or 40 degree range. And then the last priority is 150 units with a 160 degree angle. So that's almost adjacent to it. If you're that damn close to the minion, it's going to ricochet and hit you anyways. Mm-hmm. So just something to note on that.
All right, moving on to her old W, Impure Shots. Passive, Miss Fortune's basic attacks deal 6% AD bonus magic damage, stacking up to 5 to 8 based on bullet times rank, times per target for a maximum of 30 to 48 based on stacks, percent 80 bonus physical damage. Active, Miss Fortune gains bonus attack speed for 6 seconds and brings Strut to full power. And the bonus attack speed she got was 20 to 60. So it's kind of literally, it feels like they swapped
the W and the passive. Mm-hmm. Right. Kind of weird, but okay.
And then her current W, Strut. Passive, Miss Fortune gains 25% bonus movement speed after 5 seconds without taking non-persistent damage. Sorry if I said percent. I mean 20% bonus movement speed, just flat. Persistent damage. This bonus is increased after another 5 seconds and is granted instantly whenever Strut is cast or upon respawning. Active, Miss Fortune gains bonus attack speed for 4 seconds. Marking a new target with Love Tap reduces Strut's current cooldown by 2 seconds. Big. So that's, again, that's why you want to be alternating your auto attacks.
Right.
So the increased bonus movement speed is 55 to 95, and then the bonus attack speed is 40 to 100. So it got buffed when they changed this over. 95 movement speed is fucking nuts,
Right.
and then 100% attack speed. You're gonna be maxing in a second. So
Yeah, I like to hit this when I'm going up to try to get some plates early on, and you just pop it for the extra attack speed. It's pretty fucking noticeable that early. Later, when she has more attack speed from her items, that's not quite as noticeable. But like early on, like you hit that thing and you're wailing on a tower, it's extremely helpful.
also just the like rank 1, like you have 55 extra movement speed. So
Right.
like when you're basing early, you're not gonna have another slot or another point in it until level 8.
Yeah.
So it's like you still have 55. So if you base, like you're gonna be zooming back to lane.
Yeah,
You're
you're
gonna be a
running
lot
faster than boots.
Yeah.
Ionians 45 movement speed. This 55.
What is Berserkers? Is Berserkers 60?
No, I think
No, it's not like
Berserker's
50.
probably 45 also. Let me look. Berserker. Those are 45 movement speed.
Okay. So you're getting if you finish Berserkers, you're gonna have 100 movement speed
Yeah, that's fucking
with
gross.
rank 1 of your W. So that's a lot. You're quick.
Yeah, you are. The only boots that have higher movement speed than that are Swifties at 60 and Mobies at 115. Everything else is 45.
What is Moby's base before what if you take damage?
So if you take damage, it reduces movement speed by 90. So you get paper bags or you get Mobies basically, because paper bags are 25 move speed also. So
Damn.
when you take damage, they drop to a tier 1 boot, and then when it resets, you're back to a tier 2 boot. But it's like more than double regular tier or a different tier 2 boot. So high risk, high reward on the Mobies. Okay. We are on the E, which is called Make It Rain, or some people used to call it Grape Shot. I don't think it ever actually changed names, but it's Grape Shot. So, original Make It Rain. Active, after a half-second delay, Miss Fortune rains down hundreds of bullets onto the target area for 2 seconds, slowing and dealing magic damage every quarter second to units within. Magic damage per tick was 11.25 to 38.75 with a 10% AP ratio, meaning max damage you could take was 90 to 310 with an 80% AP ratio, which is pretty nice, really. It would slow from 40 to 60%. It had a cast range of 800 and the area radius was 200 units. So 5 Teemos. Current Make It Rain. Target range is 1,000, so it's you can cast it from a little bit further, but it still has the same 200 effect radius, so that's something to note. Active, Miss Fortune casts a storm of bullets at the target location for 2 seconds, granting sight of the area, dealing magic damage every quarter second to enemies within, and slowing them by 40% plus 6% per 100 AP. Magic damage per tick was 8.75 to 23.75 with a 15% AP ratio, bringing you to a grand total of 70 to 190 with a 120% AP ratio.
I'm so thankful they changed this. Like, the only way you're gonna be able to get value out of this ability is if you're going AP or like leaning heavily into it, which is good. Because before, I think like the slow alone was like would go up to 60. And then they
60%.
slapped the AP scaling on it. So
well,
thank God.
Even the base damage. I mean, if you took all the hits, you take 310 base, and now you have to have AP to take a considerable amount of damage. Otherwise, it's only 190 base. So
right, and that's not even you're maxing this last, so that's level 18.
Right, so
it's gonna be 70 for it's nothing.
Shit.
I think the best part about this ability is that it reveals the current sight of an area.
Yeah.
So there should be no excuses if you're playing Miss Fortune and you don't have vision of a brush. Just throw your E in it. Like 1,000 range. Come on.
Right. It's like Lux throwing her E into a bush too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar. But all right.
Finally, we got bullet time.
Signature right here, dude.
Yeah, bullet time. Oh, actually, one more thing on the E. I always saw it as a mini Gangplank ult.
Yes, same. 100% the same.
It's not cannonballs, but like.
When we first started this game,
looks like it.
When we first started this game, Make It Rain and what are they called? Was it called Cannon Barrage before that?
Pretty sure, yeah.
They were like the same fucking model, just Gangplanks was bigger. And I always thought
Yeah.
that was dumb. I'm like, it's the same fucking ability. I think it even. I'm gonna look it up now. I think it even did like slightly more damage. It was really fucking stupid. Really fucking stupid.
So
But
bullet time, her previous version, passive ranking of bullet time increases impure shots maximum stacks, which was 1 to 3. Active Miss Fortune channels for 2 seconds, firing up to 8 waves of bullets in the target direction over the duration, each dealing physical damage and applying impure shots to all affected enemies. Let me remember what this does. So it was basic attack. So is it target times per target for a maximum? So it just increased the damage. Basic attacks deal 6% AD bonus magic, stacking up to 5, 6.
Yep.
So at max it could be 11
yeah, I think so.
plus 3 more. So okay. So the old bullet time. Okay, do they do the math here? No, it's per wave. I'm just gonna do it the maximum because there's too much to talk about. So if
Yeah.
you get hit by all 8 waves, it is 400 to 1,000. Plus 80, 40, 200.
81, 40, 200. Yeah.
What is that? Is that
That's
per wave? Or is that
so
impure
no, that's
shots?
so that's your bonus AD. So you either get 80%, 140%, or 200% bonus AD based on the rank. At that
Oh,
at max shots.
sure. Okay. So then, and then 160% AP, and then the maximum, the impure shots would be increased to 288 to 384 AD.
Jesus. I mean that ability just rips you up, and this is back in the time where again you could actually effectively build Black Cleaver on a certain AD carries, and that would just make this ability even that much stronger because it applies the Black Cleaver as you're fucking just shredding their armor. They're taking extra fucking damage. It's disgusting.
And then current bullet time, active Miss Fortune channels up to 3 seconds, firing a number of waves of bullets in the target direction. Each wave is in a spread of 6 projectiles that deal 75, 80 plus 25% AP physical damage to enemies hit. And again, so as you rank it up, it's 14 to 18 waves.
Jesus.
And then the wave interval times are 0.20, and then it decreases 0.20, 0.17, 0.15. And then the maximum damage, if you are sitting in the channel for the whole time, is base 1,000 to 1,350% AD plus 350, 400, 450 AP scaling. My favorite, and then of course each of the waves can critically strike for 20% plus another 7 if you have Infinity Edge. Bonus physical damage.
I was waiting
love
for
this
that.
because if you mouse over this in game, it'll literally tell you the actual number of how much damage you take. It'll be like,
Yes.
it's fucking insane. It'll say like 5,000 damage if you're full AD and you're like 6 items. It will say, because there was the era where all ADs were building lethality,
Right.
and even that fucking hit like a truck.
It does.
But if you have the Infinity Edge and you get those crits, it's fucking nuts. It does.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I was gonna say, I mean, I was gonna compare this to like, this might be the ability if you like sit in it the whole time does the most damage. I don't. Urgot executes for like 9,000 true damage. I don't really know if I want to count that because an execute.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another ability that does that much damage if you take
If you're
it.
gonna sit in it, yeah, I don't think there is one.
Of course,
There's not one I can
no
think
one's.
of.
Of course, you shouldn't be sitting in it.
Right.
But I mean, if you get rooted, Morgana Q, you're fucked.
Did they just recently change the angle on it? I think too. I think they narrowed the angle a little bit at some. Well, I don't know if it was recent, but at some point, because it's a 30-degree angle is what that comes out as. I thought they narrowed it at some point. Maybe that was when they changed her completely.
I'm trying to look down on previous.
I know. I don't fucking see it. So
No.
yeah. Well. The point is the ability is fucking disgusting, and it's a good team fight breaking ability as well. You get someone works really good with like a Sejuani or a J4, someone, or even a Camille, someone that can keep enemies in like in an arena, I guess, for lack of a better term, just like
Or
a
even if
certain
you're
space.
like if you're fighting in Baron Pit or like
Mm,
in a jungle corridor, you're
yes.
pretty screwed if this
Yeah.
thing hits you.
You
You need to
definitely
get
don't
out
want to go through those choke
fast.
points.
Not even
um,
a bad cooldown either. 120 to 100.
no, no, not bad
It's
at
not
all.
too bad.
I remember
Uh,
when I first played this champion, I didn't realize like you just like I'd be so used to like clicking move that I didn't realize I was actually canceling my auto or my ulti. I was like, holy shit, why is this not working? And I was like, oh, you can't click move. It actually just cancels the ulti for you. Where some champions, while they're channeling, you can't move. So
all
definitely
right.
interesting to see there. Okay, she's got 8,000 skins, so good luck.
She has 19 skins with
Good.
the two new ones coming out because she has a base and then a prestige.
Oh,
If
jeez.
if we're counting prestige as a separate skin,
That's true.
so I'll say we do.
Okay.
But if when these skins release, she will officially have the most skins in the game. I remember reading that.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that's right. I think I did see that.
I'll start by saying she probably has the worst ultimate skin. I think Gun Goddess is kind of not that great.
I
I
like
think
Gun Goddess.
it's okay. It's
I
the
like it.
worst ultimate. I
I
think it's
like
the
it.
worst ultimate.
No, Ezreal's the worst ultimate.
I don't
Even
know.
reworked Ezreal is worse. At least Gun Goddess, you can change the appearance. You get 3 choices of Gun Goddess styles you could be. I will hold steadfast to the idea that Ezreal's ultimate is
Wait,
the
is this?
worst.
It's not even a 3250 skin. Is this even an ultimate?
2775. It was an ultimate.
Huh. It's
It
not even
doesn't
priced at that anymore.
say no. It
Weird.
doesn't say if it is. It says part of the Steel Valkyries line. Okay. Um,
All right, yeah, okay, it's not bad.
I like this skin
Um,
because it talks to you. The suit talks to
Exosuit.
you.
Oh.
Yeah. It kind of it's like kind of reminds me. It makes her more like Samus a little bit.
Hmm.
But I don't think that's her best skin. It's just one of my favorites. She's got a slew, and I mean a fucking slew of great skins. Even I think the Prestige Bewitching's pretty good.
It is good. Yep.
I like it better than the regular Bewitching. I think the Prestige outfit just looks really good with her style and whatnot. That Prestige Broken Covenant looks really fucking good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say the new skin. Both of them look good.
Right.
This is a fucking great skin line. Yeah, that's a good fucking skin. I
Road
actually might
Road
turn
Warrior's
to
good.
it.
We go in. We kill. Secret Agent's great because she's Jessica Rabbit. That's a classic. I was never a huge fan of Cowgirl or Waterloo, but some people like the Waterloo line.
I like I like Crime City. I just wish it wasn't. I wish it was just gangster
Right.
again.
Right.
Yeah, that one is really fucking good with the Tommy guns.
Arcade was
Um,
really good. Oh, I really like actually the Ruin skin for her. I think the Ruin looks really good on her.
That was good.
I don't-
Captain Fortune, which is literally herself.
Basically her base skin. But that was kind of a cool one though, because I felt like that updated her base skin, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like Captain Gangplank was like an update to Gangplank's original and I mean not the base, but the original base. That's
Battle
a
Bunny's
tough
pretty
one.
good.
Battle Bunny's good, Star Guardian's good. Like she really doesn't like they really haven't missed. Like I said, I don't really care for Waterloo, but like it doesn't mean it's not a good skin. It's got great splash art since they redid it. Fuck, dude, what is her best skin? That's a good fucking question.
I don't know. Just going through this, I'm really fucking with the Broken Covenant. I'm gonna have to see what it looks like in game, but man, it looks good.
The Prestige one I think looks
It
better
looks
than
great.
the standard one by a long like it. The new Prestige skins, I would totally call them different skins, 100%, because they are pretty drastically different from the base ones, unlike they had been in the past.
I think I like the base one, but no, for sure the Prestige one is way better.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I do
Oh,
like
maybe.
Crime City
Oh,
with the Tommy guns is so good though. Like I like the
I
idea of the Tommy guns.
I didn't even think about Arcade Misfortune. That
Arcade
like
was a classic. Yeah, that was like the big one when
man.
it came out. Um,
You know what? I'm gonna go
I
with
suppose
Arcade. I'm gonna go with Arcade.
I think I'm gonna go. Oh man, the pool party's really good too. um,
Hold on. Can we just, for pool party, when the fuck are we getting pool party Blitzcrank? You see that in the background?
Oh, shit.
When the fuck are we getting that?
Wait, who's in front of Blitzcrank? Is that Lux?
I think that's Lux, and then Lisa.
We don't have pool party Lux either, so.
We gotta wait for Riot to drop the nuke that is
Pool party Ari. You right.
Please, Riot, this is... Please, drop it. Drop it. This summer.
Coming this summer.
Yeah,
out now. Man, best skin. Okay, if I had to pick best skin, I'm gonna go with Prestige Bewitching. She's got the fucking sorting hat on. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So cool. I don't have anything else to add to Miss Fortune. I just sometimes wish she wouldn't try to. I wish I knew the Peter Griffin rant from Family Guy when he's talking about
grinds my gears or what?
Yeah, the grinds my gears rant. Because that line is pretty much how I jokingly feel about Miss Fortune.
If any champion needs voice line updates, for the love of God, please. She has like 4 lines.
Well, you know what? I don't even know them all because I usually play Gun Goddess, and she has way more fucking lines than Gun Goddess, and because she talks to the exosuit, and yeah, so I don't even know all of her lines or know too many of her lines. But her voice is really good, so they just need to add more to it.
She says like, It somehow we made this episode almost an hour long, guys. Hold on, where we go to her? Where the fuck are her voice lines? How do you get to audio? Let's see. Audio. She literally says like, set sail, not a problem. Got dangerous eyes.
Sail.
She's one of the few champions. I'm pretty sure Ari, they changed it from Ari, but Miss Fortune still references summoners.
Oh yeah.
Don't get cocky. I know what I'm doing. I've got a good feeling about this. Watch your mouth, kid, or you'll end up find yourself respawning at home. That one's pretty good.
That's like such a fucking good one. It's weird because like Ari was like the seductress, and then they kind of made Miss Fortune a bit of a seductress as well with her voice lines and whatnot, and with the way she runs.
Weird. If she is playing against the Gangplank, when she spawns, she'll say, "Get those oranges ready, Gangplank." I had no fucking idea.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Huh. All right. Well, this episode's been 50 hours long. Incredible.
Longer than it needed to be, but that's okay. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, visit the socials. Check out the YouTube Shorts / TikTok.
The TikToks, they're great. They're wonderful.
/ Instagram Reels. Whatever you're using to watch, just please continue watching. The greatly greatest. That's all I have to say.
So, yeah, next week for Champ Review, we'll have Swain and Lux. So, at least one of those is going to be a full-on rework.
Yes.
I'm excited to look at Swain because I miss playing old Swain.
I hated old Swain. I never understood that thing.
But, yeah, guys, we got patch next week. We got a lot of more fucking... This season feels like it's going to have the biggest patches ever because there's just so much shit going on. I've just briefly looked at how many changes are coming, and there's a lot next week. So, get ready for that. But yeah, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, review, anything. Hit that link tree. Like Tyler said, join the socials, come into the Discord. Let us know if you want to come on the podcast. Let us know what champion you main, what your rank is, and we'll interview you guys and we'll just talk it out. Or if you're watching, I have on the screen right now. These are in order what champions we have coming up. So next week is Swain, Lux, and then LeBlanc, Aurelia, Trundle, Cassiopeia, Caitlyn, Renekton. If you're looking at this list and you see a champion that's coming up that you're maining, come on, we'll talk. Join us and we'll talk about them. And I think that'd be a cool idea.
Why did you take the idea right out of my brain? Like, I was gonna say that before you closed everything up too. I was gonna say if one of these is your main you want to talk, like, bring it here.
Did you take the idea from me?
I don't have a magic wand, sir.
Right, but how did I know to say that then? Unless I thought of it before you.
Inception,
or whatever. Fuck you. All right, guys. We will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend, and thanks for listening.
Later, y'all.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. Click right here to see the previous episode of the According to Low Elo podcast. Click right here to see the most recent gameplay video. Thanks again.